You are now listening to the SuperCoach Experience. The SuperCoach Experience. The SuperCoach Experience.
And welcome back to the SuperCoach Experience podcast. I'm your host, Brendan Savage, the coach of the Savage Turbos. I'm joined here by the full SuperCoach Experience panel. We got Mikey here, we got Tim, we got Jake. How are you? Who do I start with? Let's start with 9th overall. Tim, the coach of the Villi Armies, coming back from a 2-week break. How are you, mate?
Good, man. I had a much needed break. Going well. I'm pretty nervous about the rest of the year and the decisions that are to be made. But guess we'll see what happens and just play it out week by week.
Very good. We've also got someone else who's come off a little bit of a break. Mikey, the coach of Trip Jacker Mafia. How are you, Mikey?
Little break. Come on, boys. I had last week off. The week before that I was on. Yeah, you know, work gets tough and it's hard to commit each week. But, nonetheless, it's, good to be back talking SuperCoach. And, it's getting interesting. It looks like a good round ahead. And, keen for the round to start tomorrow night.
And Jake, the coach of the Ramian Noodles. I've given you shit all year. It's your turn to give it back to me because I've finally had an absolute stinker of a week.
Yeah, we have had a stinker of a week. And look, Mikey mentioned that we're going to mention, the Savs do have Alex Johnson. I also don't have him, but I do have Tane Milne. So, Savs do have Alex Johnson. Get the soundboard ready.
I do not, unfortunately. And you know what? I feel like this is one of them decisions where it could go either way. And he's produced hat-trick after double. And I'll put it down to luck.
Low score of 80 in 5 weeks. So it hurts.
What's he got? He's got 13 tries in, I think, 5 games.
Yeah,
200K in the 4 weeks. He's made 200K, and it doesn't look like stopping. So
I'll put it down to luck. But I think that's not even the worst thing that happened over the weekend. I decided last minute to try and go the pod route and captain Sean Johnson instead of Cody Walker, which was, I didn't even hit 500. I had an absolute awful week. I knew I was taking a hit this week, but I scored absolutely shit this week. So, onwards and upwards down to 3,000th. And I was looking at the ranks the other day and Mikey's only 1,000 ranks off me. So I bet you've already marked that down.
Oh, yes, man. I'm coming for you. I was in 30,000 and about 850 points behind you. And I've narrowed it in, man. I'm doing a very big comeback. So I'm flying under the radar with just a lot of people, especially in the Turbo Hammies Cup. And, I'm just trying to do well for the head-to-heads. But, I'm making some moves. I'm not jumping up massively. I'm just slowly each week I'm going up about 1,000 spots. So into 4,000 now. So, I'm in the top 5,000 for the first time since round 2. And, looking forward to it, man. I think, 750 or something last week for me. I can't believe I listened to you guys' podcast and you and Jake, the one thing you said on the podcast, don't get cute with your captain choices, go with the pack, and this is a week to do it. And both of you didn't take your own advice, and it hurt. I couldn't believe it when I saw you not even BC, and I thought that was absolute crazy. Sabs, was it the weather that scared you?
Yeah, pretty much.
You just wanted to not be cute.
No, pretty much. I think, I know. I saw everyone had the captain on Cody Walker, and I was thinking Damien Cook's out, Cameron Murray's out. I know they can absolutely perform without them players, and Cody Walker's a good player, so he can always perform. But I don't know. I just kind of talked myself into it, and my captain choice over the past few weeks has been my downfall, and it's going to be. I feel like it helped me at the start of the season, but I've kind of fallen off a bit. And I feel like when you start to be less cute and just choose who you actually think is going to score well, that's when you do your best. When you overthink it too much, that's when it works badly for you. So that's what happened with me there.
To be fair, I did give him a call. Like I give Savs a call quite often throughout the season with like a pre-game like inkling, and I'm like, I think you should probably do this as well. And I think I have a little bit of safety and protection that someone else is doing it with me. But this was one of those. Yeah, I gave him a call. I said, mate, it's going to be wet everywhere, so I think we need to just take this VC option and just it might be the only dry game. And just had complete tunnel vision, didn't really care too much or didn't even really think. I didn't look that, last time Garrick did so well, he actually did have DCE there as well. So although he was without Tommy, he was out without DCE as well. So it was going to be a bit tougher.
Did you do that move as well, Timmy? Did you not have Cody?
Yeah, I
Walker?
did the same thing.
Yeah, oh, wow.
Yeah, I bypassed. And because I didn't have – everyone had to see on him as well, and I was like – he's only turned up once prior to that this year. I think it was only once. There's been a fair few 90s there, but I just thought,
yeah, 90.
I wasn't that confident with him. For me, what was left, I thought a Rooster player was safer. But then, when we watched that game in hindsight, it wasn't what we all thought it was going to be. So
yeah.
It didn't take too much of a hit, though, I guess, with not captaining him, but it was only about a 50-point turnaround. I still would have liked those 50 points. But, for me, I had a pretty shocking week. I had 12 players, which weren't all great players, but I only ended up getting like 787. And I'm hearing people like saying stuff like, they had 7 players and got like 650 and stuff. So I've only got like 120 points for an extra, sometimes I got double the players. So
yeah, it
was a pretty shocking week.
Yeah, 40 less with 3 less players. So I guess it was just a week where, more players didn't necessarily mean more points. But it was a tough round.
So Tim, did you do the calculations on how many, what you'd be ranked if you captain Cody Walker?
I did. He would have been 6th.
And did you do the calculations if you captain Tommy the other week as well?
Look, this is what stresses him out, man. Literally the thing is, Tim, a lot of the moves you've made have got you to where you are. So if you did that, then you got to think, what if you didn't do this? You wouldn't be 9. So
you've made more better moves than you have, I guess. Slightly.
You're going for
every time I have one failure, though, I go back to every other failure. So it's like, oh yeah, and then that one and that one. But I'm trying to not have that way of thinking, and I've come to the realization that everyone else is going to make mistakes above.
You can't go through the whole season without making any mistakes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Shoot it.
So,
Brandon, are you working on the video quality? Is that what you're?
That's exactly exactly what I'm doing right now. So, hopefully that is fixed shortly. Guys, this is our first time live streaming, so just bear with us. So what are our trades this week? Let's start with you, Mikey.
Yeah, so just quickly, guys, don't forget, if you're frustrated with the video stream, we will get this is getting recorded and it will come out as it usually does for you guys tonight. Trade. So it's a tough one. Like this is the time now where, a lot of us that have traded really hard are left with no trades. I'm myself left with 4 trades after this, but I have, a lot of depth and I'm happy with where my side is. But, I've sold Cleary. I don't own David Fafita. I don't own Payne Haas. I don't own a second fullback. Like I've got Nico Hines Johnson, but because they're counting in the centre wing, I don't have 2 prime fullbacks only. So, I really did. My strategy was to leave 2 trades for the final round, but I'm just not going to be able to do it. I'm going to have to literally go with depth. I've just got to look at my team, and it's not like last year where I think, I don't have Nathan Cleary and players like that where I think, if they're doing really well, they'll get rested the last game. I think a lot of the teams is going to be really close between the, the battle for the top 4 or the battle from 5th to 12th. So I think that, a lot of teams aren't going to be able to rest their players in the final round. That's what I'm praying for. So, this week I was going to do Nico Hines to Kalen Ponga. I'm off Pappenhausen. I think Ponga's a better buy. He's a bit of a pod buy. I'm a really big Kalen Ponga fan. He's one of my favourite non-Penrith players, and I really think he could be a points, a pod going into final series, because right now, I'm coming first in like 3 of them. I've got into the top 8, so really I'm just trying to focus on that. It's a tough one. I did want to get David Fafita too, but I just can't find the money. I've got absolutely no money. So I really want to avoid burning a trade on an NPR. If I'm going for strength, I need to keep my side as strong as possible with depth. So this week I've decided I've got 70K before it. I'm going to make 1 trade, leaves me with 3, and I'm going to go Junior Paulo to Payne Haas. Not having Payne Haas that week where I versed you, Savage, in the THC, I lost because of that. Payne Haas with that Broncos lineup and Matt Lodge gone, I think he's just going to be that, guy that bangs out base stats, and it's going to hurt me going up against a Payne Haas where I want to, play Papali'i and Haas each week, and that's a beautiful combination in the front row. And then I now have Luke Thompson and Fanua Blake for depth. So I really like that front row where Paulo, I probably would not have played unless I was decimated by injuries, because 50 minutes. He's backing up this week after Origin. That's only costing me 60,000. Should I leave that money to get someone like Fafita? Is it suicide not getting Fafita this week? It might be, but this is my time. I'm going to do an anti-pod move this week, and I think it'll define my round 18. Definitely banking the other trade, and those other trades will be used to either get Cleary back or probably most likely to get Kalen Ponga in injury coverage. Back to you, Savs.
Yeah.
So originally you were selling. I thought you were getting Ponga this week, so you're not getting him.
Originally I wanted to get Ponga and Hines, but I didn't really dabble into that. The Hines, I've realised with Pappenhausen not looking likely, I think Hines is an indefinite hold. And the thing is, I reckon he probably goes into centre, or they find an 80-minute spot for him when Pappenhausen is back with how he's playing. It's like Matt Burton for the Panthers have found a home 80 minutes. And he'll continue to do that for the rest of the season, although he's going. So I think the same thing with Nico Hines for the Sharks. I think he has to stay for 80 minutes. So I think it's suicide if to sell him. He's an indefinite hold for me for now. So that's why I've now had to come up with the Payne Haas move, because I don't need to make 2 trades, and I'm not having to sell like a Kenny Bromwich or Mitch Barnett, who I think would be good to hold on to for depth for now anyways. Plus Ponga's versing the Storm and Roosters. I can wait a week or 2 and see how he goes, because I'd love to see if he gets the goals back. I don't think he will, and I think I'd still buy him without him. But, I think it's a nice – it's the David Fafita thing could hurt me. I'm aware of that, but I'm going to take the punt. Hopefully he gets injured. Oh, no, I shouldn't say that. With the Hines, hopefully he doesn't go bonkers. Let's hope he goes sub-par 80. That's what I'm hoping for.
Just what you're saying on Hines and going to centre – I like that idea as well. I'm just sort of playing with the other ideas. Like, do you think they could play him off the bench holding, like, either, say, like their full strength side? Could they have Cheese or Harry coming off the bench as well as Hines?
I don't think they can. I don't think so.
Yeah, you think you'd...
I don't think so.
Even though he plays in the forward, do you think you want 2 bigger bodies, right?
You'd 3 like bigger to think so. You'd like to think so. So, I think they've got to find a spot for him, whether it's for George Jennings or Remus Smith. Surely you've got to look at your team and go, this guy's going to help me win another comp, back-to-back comp. So, but you never know what Bellamy's going to do. But for now, I just think it's crazy to sell him right now. He's scoring freakishly. So,
I agree.
Anyone else got balls to sell Hines, or are we all holding?
No,
we're definitely holding.
Holding till Pappenhausen's back. That's for sure.
Yep.
And then my plan, like yours, Mike.
I won't be selling Hines the moment Pappy comes back either. I'll be wanting to watch him too. So even if I have to risk 1 week of him off the bench or not, whatever, I'll just want to give it a watch.
Yep.
Sweet.
All right. So
let's move on to Jake's trades. But after that, we've just got a quick message from the sponsor. TopSport have jumped on board as the SuperCoach Experience sponsor. Australian owned and run, TopSport is the place to go for all your betting needs. They have specialty markets that all the other bookies don't have, plus an easy-to-use app to navigate. They've already helped us so much, and we want to keep helping them, and we want to help them help you. So if you love a punt, you'll love TopSport. Head over to topsport.com.au. Use the code SCEXPERIENCE when signing up. That lets them know you're coming from our show, and they'll take extra good care of you. Over 18, gamble responsibly. Use the app TopSport for all your betting needs. All right, we're back here from the live stream. Hello, guys, and we're moving on to Jake's trades. How are you, Jake? And what are your plans for this week? And how many trades do you have left?
I have 4 before this week. I'm just making the one. I'm going Sia Siwa Takiaho to David Fafita. I'm worried that I might not have a front rower this week. Well, I only have one, but that I'll put Isaiah Papali up into the front row and bring in David Fafita, who I think is a must-have for the run home. Do I really want to play? Is it a rush? I think this week probably not. I mean, they've got some Parramatta who defend quite decently, but I'm going to get him anyway, so might as well go this week, and it works well for the rest of my plans for the season.
Very good. And Timmy, ranked 9th.
Does he want to disclose, though?
Do you want to disclose, or are you keeping it pretty quiet?
I'm happy to talk about it.
Yep.
I haven't made my decisions up. My decisions really come down to, for hearing you guys, I think you guys have got less trades than what I've got. And I still feel like I've got 7 at the moment. And my thinking's kind of like, unless you have to make a trade, maybe don't do it, because there's going to be weeks coming down the track where we're forced to make moves. If there's people in positions where they've got no front row this week because they've got, a TKO and somebody else that's not playing or something like that, and they're sort of forced to. I think it's different, but I think trying to complete your side now is not the way to go. There's 2 people that are standing out for me that I'd love to get in this week, but then I think I still got to get this other guy and this other guy and this other guy. So that leaves me that's 5 trades. I'm probably going to need to downgrade someone to allow for all of those 5 trades. So that's 6, which leaves me 1 spare trade for an emergency. So I feel like the scenario we've got to all be considering is like making the trade as it is presented to you. So you're not making the luxury trade and waiting till a player goes down for a permanent 6 weeks or is suspended for 4 weeks or something like that. And that's when you've got to make the trade. If people are going to fluctuate a little bit in price and stuff, I think you need to just worry about paying $100,000 later for that certain player. If you've got another guy in the same position that you're going to trade out, like a guy that's getting you sort of 70 or something to get in a player that you think might get you 90, is it really worth it when you're going to be stuck with 5 more weeks, 2 weeks time, there's 5-6 weeks left. I don't know. That's where I'm at. I'm trying to not think about making the trade because I can feel a good 17. I could feel a better 17 making a trade, 100%.
Is there someone you don't have, Timmy, that you think you're going to need this week?
I don't think you need anyone, but
example.
I'd like to. Okay, here's where I'm at. I've got Nicarima, and I've had him since about round 11 or 12, and I sort of planned for him it was a bit of future buy planning before the first buy. For this last buy, and he stunk it up. And what I've seen from him, even though he's got a recent scores that are okay, especially with Reece Walsh in the side, he's not really. They just seem to want to let him do all the attack or try everything, and he's not doing much. And I don't love him as much as what I thought he was a great option for before. So now I'm thinking I've got the option of bringing in a gun hooker by selling Nicarima and bringing down Watson to 5'8" temporarily for a week or 2 as my backup 5'8" who I wouldn't play, or going a gun 5'8", which could be either Munster or Dewey.
I like Dewey. I knew you were going to say Dewey.
All right.
If he stayed in 5'8", that is. Yeah.
So I guess.
So I'm tossing up. So I'd love to get the cheese. I think he's probably going to be still even better than Harry Grant because he's still going to get that extra time on the field regardless, where Harry might play little stints and get rested a bit more because he's precious Harry Grant. And, Smitty's off to a new club next year, so they can bump him around as much as they want and use him as much as they want. So I think he might be a go. So it's just kind of like I'd love to get one of those. I probably couldn't get both of them, but I think the better option is to wait and just get them. They're both still going to have good runs down the track and get them when my hand's forced. But the problem is Nicarima's at 500K now. He's got a pretty high break even, and he could be 400K in 2 weeks. Yeah, so I wouldn't play him. And do I really want him to drop 1,000K? But he's got a good matchup after the next two games. He's got some like really dream games. Like I think he's got the Dogs, maybe the Broncos as well. If not, it's a really, really dodgy team as well. So
I think
if
you're not sure in the position you're in, I'm sorry to butt in, but you're talking a lot. Not much is coming out, but I think if you're looking at trading him in, but you're not sure who to go to, I think potentially wait for Cleary. Like, is that something that you're considering going? Because
definitely,
I've thought about it, and he's going to come back. And I talked myself into it when I was selling him that when he comes back, he's not going to come and blitz it, but you can just tell the difference he makes to that side, and it's going to be hard not to have him. And whoever does get the chance to get him in is going to benefit from that. So I think in your position, prioritizing Cleary could be crucial.
Okay, so yes, that's why I think Dewey's got a good game this weekend, but the Broncos are like showing a little bit of resolve, and I think with Ben Eichen moved to the club, he's probably like cracked a whip and just sort of said, "You guys won't be playing at this club unless you fucking start playing," sort of thing. So yeah, but then next week they've got Manly. Sorry, so I don't think
the Broncos. The Broncos. Were you talking about Tigers or Broncos?
Tigers.
Yeah, the Tigers. So Tigers have got Manly next week. So it's not that exciting as a 2-week play. You could pick him up after that game, and I think it'd still be nice. So maybe aim for like not this round, but 2 rounds from now. But I don't know. I think the move might be just to hold the trades, and then that gives me more freedom to be able to bring someone like Cleary in down the track if I could.
Yep. So I'm actually.
I think I'm going to hold.
Yeah, so I think that's probably the best move. There's no one that I love this week, but I need a 5'8", getting into Adam Dewey this week, and I could potentially go Takiaho to Fodawaker or possibly Angus Crichton, and that'll leave me with one trade left for the year. Valentine Holmes is injured. For the people who have him and jumped on him when I jumped on him, he's done the purpose, but I think he is a hold because he will come back later in the season, especially if you have depth and you've got a fifth center wing. You can just leave him there, but if you don't, you probably got to sell him. And I guess I'll just leave Hines at fullback for the moment and swap him and Holmes when I need to, and put Hines in the starting lineup. I don't think Pappenhausen is going to come back and set the world on fire. It looks like he's taking a lot longer than needed to recover from that injury. And I feel like I kept banking on him to start the season or to come back this late in the season, but I haven't. I'm not going to do that. I feel like not having a second genuine fullback is going to hurt me though. So maybe I don't make that second trade and just wait to see who the premium option is. Mikey, Ponga. You think Ponga is going to be the second option, or is Teddy?
I think they're both of the, if you don't want to go the Pappenhausen route, I think it's both of those. I've said it before. I think it's Ponga in my eyes, but I'm hoping a lot of people think it's Teddy. I think Teddy's hurting without someone like Luke Keary, and I don't like he's got a very good run. Like I know the Roosters still have to verse Penrith Bunnies again, but there are a few nice matchups where Teddy can really go big. But same with Ponga. I just really like his draw. They've got to play. They've got a tough 2 weeks. They got Storm and Roosters, but after that, their draw really opens up, and it's a really good run home. The only issue with Ponga is his fitness and his injury, but I really do see Knight sneaking like an 8th spot on the back of Ponga, and look how much better that team looked with him in it. He has a Tommy Turbo effect on the Newcastle Knights. So, look, I am a Callum Ponga fanboy, and I really do want to have him in my side. Every time I get him in my side when he's playing, he really does help me in my side, and he was one of the big reasons. Starting with him really helped me last year. So, yeah, for me, it's Ponga, but I think, either of those are good options.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move on from our trades because it feels like we've been a massive while that we've been going through that. SuperCoach. So State of Origin happened last night. You've got your Blues jersey on, Mikey. I mean, go the Blues. But did they make the wrong decision in choosing Moses and Whiten? I thought Whiten was terrible. Not a SuperCoach option. Moses, Cleary and Luai just so far ahead, Mikey.
Yeah, look, I'm Penrith supporter here, as we know, and honestly, that's the difference. Cleary and Luai, very few they haven't lost a game this year, the two of them. So, it's they really missed them in the halves. I thought Moses wasn't as bad as what I thought, but they were just really missing a key combination. Great game of Origin. I thought it was still very highly entertaining, but yeah, they were really missing both of those guys, and so are the Panthers. I'm very worried as a Penrith supporter this week versus the Warriors with Tyron May in the halves. I'm very nervous. So look, it is what it is, and let's just hope Cleary and Luai come back. For SuperCoach, because I think they're going to be big options. I'm holding Luai for the rest of the season, so yeah, hopefully they can come back. But yeah, Blues still series win, and yeah, it was a good game last night.
Yep.
Is Kurt Falls not available with the bubble or?
Great question, Tim. Kurt Falls, I do not know why the hell he isn't playing. He's a Nathan Cleary clone to no one that has seen him play. He's a freak, and he's the key reason why they're doing so well in the New South Wales Cup. But yeah, he hasn't even been named in the 22. I don't know if he's available to play because they've named Jermaine Salmon in the 23-man squad, which tells me that, maybe he can't play. I don't know the answer to that, but it doesn't look like we'll see him. It'll be Tyron May or Salmon.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen Kurt Falls play and he looks really good. But enough Origin talk. Let's move on to our hot topics of the week. And my hot topic, guys, is who's the number one target if you have unlimited money for you to get in this week? Can we all agree it's David Fifita? Jake, I'll start with you.
I agree. I agree with that one for Fifita. If we're taking Fifita out of the equation, I think Payne Haas is kind of a must-have. In terms of front row, there's really pretty thin. So I think Payne Haas, and I think those two are the most brought in this week anyway. So yeah, definitely those two. Other than that, I don't really see anyone. I mean, you've got Origin players that you want to bring in, but at the expense of, I guess, being rested or limited minutes, you kind of want to wait till next week to sort of bring in those players.
Yeah, Mikey, are you looking at any pods to start this year or to end this year? Is there a priority with the limited trades you have, or are you just going to play it vanilla from here and get in for Fifita as soon as you can?
Oh, look, if I was doing that, I'd get him for Fifita this week. But I think, example, if you're in a position where you might need to burn another trade to get Fifita this week, or you could just grab Payne Haas. Obviously, I'm going with that second option, so I prefer it. But pods will be great for the rest of the year. I'm not really going to go with it. Right now, my last trades are going to be made on guns. There's only 3 people I think I could burn the rest of the trades. I either go route 1, get Ponga and Cleary and use it the third for enough. Ponga and Fifita, third for enough, or I avoid one of Fifita and Ponga and I grab Cleary. So I haven't made my mind up yet. That's why I'm not going David Fifita this week. So I now have options because, yeah, you could antipod David Fifita and saving those trades to Nathan Cleary could turn out to be better. But, I've already picked up a few pods. Campbell Graham, Kenny Bromwich. I've got a few pods. So I think it just depends on your side. But in my boat, no more. I think it's just with the limited trades you have left, you've got to get in the key gun players that are going to either hurt you in a head-to-head matchup or, be the difference in jumping up some ranks. So I think you've got to find that intermediate balance, which is what I'm going for.
Yeah, and just before I head to Tim, ask your questions on the Facebook Live and we'll answer them very shortly. Tim, what guns are you targeting before the end of the season? Obviously, in the position you're in, you've got to think a bit more carefully about it. So who are you aiming to get in?
It's a really tough one, man, because a lot of them have got question marks, you know. So like the hooker and the fullback, I originally just wanted to get Pappy in, but yeah, the more you see of his little TikTok videos and little write-ups that, you know, maybe he ain't going to be able to put his body on the line like he used to, or be a little bit hesitant, because he didn't sort of mind just sort of sprinting into a gap and just sort of taking collisions and stuff. And I think he might be reluctant. But yeah, I like Ponga. I'm not sold on Ponga. I just don't love that he doesn't have kicking. It's just, I don't know, man. That one's a tough one, and I just would love to see Nico Hines ride it out as long as he possibly could, to be honest, because I feel like it'd be great to just have Nico, and I've got Hines in my fullback just because I wanted to free up space for my CTW. But yeah, other than that, I think the hooker spot's tough as well, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like Reid Marnie's a nice one that he's back, but I think Parra's got a really tough draw. I don't know how much that affects a hooker position, but I don't know there'll be as much attacking stats for him in a lot of those games. I think they've got a particularly hard run, probably one of the harder runs out of any other team. So, yeah, other than that, I do need to get Angus Crichton in at some point as well. I dropped him when he was suspended, so that's about it, other than who I'm taking.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Angus Crichton is someone I really want to get in. I probably can't do it, but I feel like, yeah, definitely in your position, go for it, because he's I feel like second rows that can score above 100 are quite valuable because, yeah, it's very good. So we're going to head to Facebook questions quickly. Liam Angelis says, loosey-goosey for a look for the run home, the Tigers with a good run. Mikey, I'll start with you. Luciano Leilua, I had him. I probably wouldn't get him again. I think he's lost his attacking spark. He is a good worker now, but I think Adam Dewey with the good run home, he's the pod I'm looking for in the Tigers. And if you've got a Simonson, downgrading to Nofaluma is a pretty good shout, I reckon, at 380K. What do you reckon, Mikey?
Yeah, both good options. I'm not too much of a fan of the Tigers, and I think against these matchups, I'm tipping against them this week. I really don't rate them. I do like Adam Dewey. He'd be the only guy I'm looking at. But as for Lucy, I think the second rower position is so stacked. There are so many guys coming back, Tohu Harris, if you've held him. But, one I'd like instead at a similar price point, and, really played awesome last night for the Blues, Cameron Murray at 515K. I'd be looking at someone like him. He's only at 7% ownership. I really didn't give him much time to about half an hour for the podcast. I looked and I could go him instead of Haas. But, I just think there are so many other better options, and it's really stacked. You got to try and fit, Madison, Crichton, Fafita. You probably have Herrera, Harris. You might have Barnett still, Kenny Robinson. Because there's a lot of, not saying he's a gun, but there's a lot of options in there. And yeah, look, it could work. Great matchup. Great draws coming up. But yeah, as I said, I'd prefer Cameron Murray as a pod in the price range. I think he's a way better buy.
How about Fodawaker? I said Fodawaker earlier. What are your thoughts on Fodawaker?
I really like Fodawaker. He's really stepped up for the Origin. He's got a high work rate. It just depends, with a fully fit tight end side in their forwards, if he can keep up the minutes, he'd be a great pot option. But as I said again, with his minutes up in the air, and, I do think, he's only going to build to be, like one of the leaders of their forward pack, kind of like what Fisher Harris did at Penrith. But I think I'd go for a more safer option. And sometimes, as you say, don't get cute, get the guys that can score well, because that's going to hurt you in the end of the day. Get a proven guy like Payne Haas, for example. If you don't have him, I prefer him to Fodawaker. I think, sometimes we've learnt this year too, like not having Papa Lee for so long has really hurt us. I think you've got to get those certain guys in. Same with Fafita. I think it's really going to hurt not having him. But yeah, it's just really team dependent.
Yep, I agree.
Haas is way likely to get better minutes as well.
Yep. Especially with Lodge out. Jake, we have a question here from the Whisperer. Is Tolman a good pod?
No, because he's only going to really get you 70 points. He doesn't have the attacking upside. He's been going well. He's been getting 60, 70 minutes every week and banging out decent scores. But the other front rowers, like you mentioned, Haas, Fodawaker, even I guess Mike Tapau, Fanua Blake. They all have, I guess, more of an attacking upside than Tolman. Tolman's more of a player you bring in at the start and just run with him. At this time of the season, I wouldn't be bringing him in just for a basic 60 to 65 score.
Yep. Tim, the Whisperer also asks, Katoni Staggs, how aroused are you from him passing the eye test? How aroused are you by him?
Yeah, he's a great player, but I think he's just a little bit too injury prone, I guess is probably not the right word. Everyone's, could get injured, but I just think, it's not the best option. If you want to pot up, I guess for the way that the Whisperers had a bit of a tough season. So if he wants to just, do something out there and a bit bold and just have to enjoy the rest of the season, it's a bit fun. He's definitely got a lot of attacking upside and he's a fun player. So, but I wouldn't recommend it to anyone that's seriously trying to contend for a run home.
Yep.
And also saw about Staggs that he's in some doubt this week. I know he was named, but he's in some doubt with a hamstring injury.
Yeah, his hammy pulled up tight or something. We have another question from Liam Mikey. Who would you play at hooker out of Jaden Brayley and Watson this week versus the Storm? I'm in this predicament myself. I'm probably going to run with both of them for the rest of the year. But what would you do, Watson or Brayley?
I'd probably lean to Watson because I'm a firm believer. Obviously, that's dependent if Punga backs up. I believe Watson, although, I think Barnett goes back to lock, so we probably see that same minute share. But at the same time, I think Watson's so much of a better player and scorer when Kalen Ponga's in that side. It really unlocks him and he scores a lot better. It's been proven. So the thing is, Brayley's really base that guy. The times we saw him scoring well earlier in the season was when he was setting up a lot of tries to the forwards, and there was a lot of attacking stats. So that's kind of dried up, and I don't expect him to, be risen from the dead this week against the Storm. So you could say the same thing for Watson, but if, out of the two, I'd probably be leaning a touch to Watson because he's got a bit more of an attacking upside and could give you an edge. But depends. If you're in a head-to-head basis, have a look this week. And if you're going up against Israeli, do a pod move and go Watson or vice versa. Just depends.
I think in the matchups that Watson and Brayley have easier games, and you definitely want to go Watson. But I think maybe in the harder game where they might be doing just a bit more tackling, maybe you just go with the guy that's probably going to make more tackles, which would be Brayley in the middle, because I don't think there's going to be much upside for either of them. But I could be wrong. Maybe he does back up from a performance and last week and gets involved in the attack and does get some love. I don't know, but I think I'm leaning towards Brayley myself.
It's a good point to note. You're right, Tim. Against the top teams, like example, Bunnies 56, Penrith 68, Roosters 60. So yeah, he does churn out a bit more base stats. It's just really been the 32, 46, 46 against the Eels that have really got me a bit sour on playing him unless I'm forced to. Where Watson, we saw what he can do given some, space and Kalen Ponga.
All right.
He's got to be due, doesn't he?
You'd like to think so.
All right, guys, we're moving on to the SuperCoach game show. We have a co-host coming on right now, and we're going to head to the SuperCoach game show. The game show is back. Ooh. The live show is back, and the game show is back. Let's go.
You don't know who the guest is. Oh, God, it's a whisper. You should have guessed.
It is the
How can you see him?
It is the SuperCoach Whisperer. How are you going, Whisperer?
I'm very, very well, mate. How are you?
Good. So we're doing the game show, obviously. How's your season going at the moment? We did talk about it before, but you should just tell us.
Yeah, I think Timmy summed it up pretty well. He was quite generous as well, the way he summed up my season. Yeah, look, tried to go a little bit left field with a couple of picks. Always good to go a pod, but some of them obviously didn't pick too well. Posted in the Turbo Hemi group chat that my new golden rule is to not take shit wingers that merge to fullbacks. Obviously, Bailey Simonson, Cody Ramsey spring to mind there, and they probably set me apart. Also, Captain Teddy, the week that he had his head decapitated, so that sort of sent everything into a downward spiral.
Yeah, it's been a pretty rough season, and you're creating content for the page, obviously, and you accidentally traded out Brian To'o, which is probably the fuck up of the season.
Not so much even trade him out, but the guy that I brought in AJ left him on the bench as well. So it was just a double.
I'm in this predicament myself. What was that?
I don't know. Something cut out.
I thought there was a sixth person in here for a second.
No, I think it was me opening my phone, to be honest.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah, so keep going.
Basically, trade that Ty by accident and then brought in AJ, which wasn't a bad, obviously, replacement if that's going to happen. But the fact that I left AJ on the bench as well, I think he scored 97 that weekend, and I was forced to play. I think with that, I was forced to play Hayes Dunster, who maybe got a 15. So that was a lovely.
Oh my god,
that's pretty brutal. So we're getting you on here for the game show, and so you pretty much got to do the game show. You've listened. I mean, you're a listener quite religiously last year. Obviously, this year's a bit harder, but are you ready to jump in and answer some questions for the game show?
Of course I am. Of course.
So just before we go there, Saz, kind of what's going to be the thing? We're going to have a new guest on every week to answer how many questions, or what's happening?
So it's going to be a series of 5 questions, and if you get 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 5, you'll pretty much go in a pool. Or I guess we'll just get the top 2 at the end of the year. So if no one gets 5, it'll just be the top 2 at the end of the year. And whoever wins that will win a SuperCoach Champion ring, courtesy of SuperCoach Champion ring. So, yeah.
Nice.
So is this just Josh competing against the time for himself or something? And we're just cheering him on? Or are we competing against him?
No,
we're
okay.
cheering on. Because we'll probably have a couple more next week and then a few more, yes.
Yeah, when we're going to, we'll have someone on
I feel I'm
next
about
week.
to get very exposed here, by the way.
Well, just give it a go. I mean, we've had really good super coaches do bad in this, so let's just go.
Just before we go there, Saz, kind of what's going to be the thing? We're going to have a new guest.
Stop opening your phone.
No,
just keep in mind we've only got 9 minutes left on this one too. So
what were you saying, Jake?
He wasn't. Someone opened up.
No, it wasn't. You played your phone.
Oh no, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. All right,
we're going. With...
All right, let's go. The Whisperer's just sitting there waiting. He's in the zone. He's ready.
Who wants to answer some questions?
Just before we go there, Saz, kind of what's going to be the thing? We're going to have a new guest on every week to answer how many questions, or what's happening?
So it's going to be a series of. Oh fuck! I fucked that up so bad. That was me.
Yeah, we knew it was you.
All right, let's go. All right, Whisperer. Who has the highest SuperCoach score in a losing side, and what was the score?
Teddy got it against the Bulldogs. They won that game. Was it Munster's 183?
It was not. I've asked this question before on the game show. Mikey, do you know what it is?
Oh no, I think you asked me this, but I don't remember. No.
Does anyone know?
No.
It is Tom Trebojevich's 194 against the Titans.
Yeah. Damn.
So that's none from
I
5.
know there's a Tommy Trebojevic question coming.
Nah.
You just expect Turbo to carry that team to a win every week, so it doesn't even consider him in your mind.
Yeah, exactly. So Whisper, a second question. Who is the highest averaging centre wing this year?
Is it Max Fiage with 89?
It is. Matthew Fiage, 89. That's really good.
I would have guessed Garrick.
Now, I'm pretty sure I would have guessed Garrick too if I was asked that question.
One game as well.
One game, yes. So a bit of a trick question there, but you straight onto it. Who is the highest owned player in SuperCoach?
Is it iPat with about 49.7%?
I can't tell if there's some cheating going on here. He's looking at a screen.
I reckon he's just done a bit of study before.
All right.
Yeah, he could have studied. If he knows how these questions go, he could have studied.
It is IPAP, and he's 50.6. So that's a stat I wouldn't have known if I didn't search it. All right. So 4 players scored tons on the weekend. Who were they?
Cody Walker, Tane Milne, Alex Johnston, and I'm forgetting who
SW.
played.
Sorry?
Well, I didn't even hear what that. I didn't even hear what that was. So that didn't even help me. No, I can only get the South Sydney boys.
Canberra game.
Canberra. Oh, Sam Williams.
Yep, that's it. Oh, will I give it? Will I give it?
I don't know if you can.
I feel like you can give half a mark.
No, I can
You
give
phoned
it.
a friend.
I can give it.
All right, we'll take that. One for the good guys.
All right, and the last question. Who is the highest SuperCoach scorer? Who has the highest SuperCoach score as a prop?
Like ever, one individual score.
Yes. What is the highest ever SuperCoach score from a prop?
It's not my answer, but Ryan James had a good stretch of run a couple of years ago. I don't think he would be quite as explosive. He's the first person that I thought of for some reason. So, yeah, I'll say Ryan James back in his Titans days.
I think that's right.
Yeah, Ron James.
It is
Look at
Ryan
this, actually.
James and Andrew Fafita. So
Fafita, you forget about how good time Fafita was.
they both have scores of 156 in the prop area. So I'll give it to you. It's not wrong. So
That's right. You didn't
4
say
out of
those
5.
two.
That's-
Wow, that's 4 out of 5. That's going to be a contender to come back later.
that will
He's
be.
in the pool. Chuck him in the pool.
So you're in the pool for the SuperCoach Champion ring. I'm sure you'll love the prize. You probably got many of them yourself sent from them. So there we go.
There we go.
But it's not that. I think it's the glory of winning it.
That's my mate. I don't even
Prizes.
have one. So that's my giveaway one that I've got to give to listeners of my show. So I'm not even good enough to win one.
All right. Let's move on to our bold predictions and captain options, and we'll wrap it up.
Awesome.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Ready?
Who's shooting
Okay.
first?
All right. Let's go with Timmy.
Oh, God, I'm always need to go last, man. Skip me. I don't have anything prepared.
Put him last.
All right, Jake.
My vice captain with Turbo not backing up, I think it's going to be Garrick. And captain, I haven't really decided. It's either going to be Nico Hines or Cody Walker, which I think Cody Walker's a pretty obvious one against the Bulldogs.
Yep.
Bold predictions. I'm going to go Tane to score a ton again. I'm going to go Nico Hines to score a ton as well. And what else we got? I'm going to say Sam Walker, 90 plus.
Nice.
It won't run backwards this time.
That's pretty strange, wasn't it? Whisperer, let's go with you. Firstly, before we go to you, Whisperer, what are your thoughts on people getting in Tane this week? Do you think Nofaluma is probably a better purchase?
I said this on my pod. The trend of the last couple of years, obviously with your dual position 2RF centre wings, you guys like your 2019 Kurt Capewell, John Bateman, Isaiah Yeo last year, Britton McCora, you generally play your back rowers and your centre wings. I think you could definitely play with the idea of running Tane Milne in your 2RF. So just with that high ceiling, I guess how good it's going to be, how good it was on the weekend. For me, though, I don't have the trades to be continually burning to bring these guys in. If he doesn't score well, it's tough. So I'm not against it. I'm not loving it. It's sort of one of those in-between ones. If you're one of the people that have a bunch of trades, then go for it. We saw how well he worked on the weekend.
Yeah, sweet. What's your captain options and bold predictions?
I think, obviously, the VC was going straight on Tommy, but with him out, I'm looking at the draw now quickly. I mean, I don't mind Gutho, to be honest, as a VC this week if Moses is out, if he's going to be goal kicking. It could be an okay shout. For me, I haven't worked out my VC, but I think all roads point to Cody Walker playing the Bulldogs in the last game of the round. I think that's the safest option. It's probably the option I'm going to go with. As for bold predictions, let's take – so I'm just going to look at the draw quickly. We'll take – it's not a SuperCoach one, but let's take the Warriors to upset the Panthers just in terms of head-to-head.
Mikey.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
And then let's say Ruben Garrick's going to have a field day against this reserve grade side Dragons. We'll go Garrick over 110 if he's playing fullback.
Yep. Awesome. Mikey, let's go with you.
Yeah, so same thing. Would have gone Tommy as a VC. Actually, it was going to be Garrick until I saw what he did on the weekend without Tom. If Cherry Evans is there, he could probably score big, but I'll go Nico Hines as my VC. And yeah, Cody Walker, probably one of the guys I've captained the most this year. So I said I wouldn't do it again, but he paid the faith last week. I think it's another week where it's not time to be cute. I think you've got to do it against the Dogs. So I'll play it safe with him. And my bold predictions, I'm going to go the Titans to upset the Eels. That's my upset for the round. I'll put that. But with that, I'm going to have David Fafita won't steal the show. He'll go sub 80. I don't know. He won't go over 80 points. I'm also just hoping that because I'm not bringing him in. And my other one will be, what am I going to put with that? I'll put Kenny Bromwich since I don't know, I've just got this feeling about him this week. I'm going to have Kenny Bromwich 70 plus to go in with that. So
Death, taxes, and Mikey loving Kenny Bromwich. It's peak Mike and Sav's show all over.
Yeah, man. I don't even know why I've got this love for Kenny Bromwich, but I'm stuck with him in my team again, and I want him to make use of the purchase.
He was a focal part of your team when you went deep last year, wasn't he?
Yep, it was a super move. So I'm hoping he can repay the faith after that 8 in my side in the when I bought him.
All right, so I'm going to go here. I'm not sure who my VC is at the moment, but I'm going to captain Adam Dewey. Going to go against the grain, not be cute. I'm going to be cute. And captain Adam Dewey this week against the Broncos.
They're going to get smashed by the Broncos. That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah, who knows? And that'll lead into my bold predictions. Dewey 100 plus, Nofo 100 plus, and Alex Johnston will score less than 3 tries. Is that bold?
I mean, the way he's been going, that's definitely a bold shout. I think he's got 15. I think he's got 13.
Oh, sorry, the whisperer cut out because he wasn't whispering, so his microphone went gone. Unlucky whisperer. Thanks for coming on, whisperer. Really good to have him back on the show, and he's doing some good things over there. Tim, your bold predictions and vice captain and captain options. Let's go.
Okay, I'm going to say bold predictions. Isaiah Papali'i will score 90 plus. Is that bold?
Yeah.
If I'm doing 3?
Yeah.
If I'm doing 3? Let's go Ikavalu for a ton.
Yep.
And let's have a go at I'm just going to, for a bit of fun, chuck him in. I'm not going to play him, but kick out to get 80 plus.
Sure.
Only because in the background of your video, Timmy, there, big cardboard.
Yeah, I think he's due to score. I think he's very due to score. So I think if he can get a try, he'll get a. I think he might have to do a little bit extra work this weekend with some of the guys backing up.
Yep, very good. Great show, guys. What are you saying, Tim?
Oh, that was all? Is that what you need from me?
Yeah, no, that's it. Great show, guys. I apologize for the live stream quality. This is our first time trying to do it, so we're just trying to get another aspect of the show out there, and obviously it didn't work today, but it will work in the future. We'll tweak it and hopefully be back good next week. And yeah, I guess live streaming is very important for the podcast, and the NRL 360 boys do it so well. So, or SuperCoach 360, rather. But yeah, guys, thanks for coming on and dealing with that shit fight. But yeah, we're here. We're done.
Right.
Punch out another podcast.
Upwards.
Sorry?
Good to be back together, and good luck in SuperCoach, and hopefully, me and Timmy can get a win to rep the experience, and Sabs, you can get a 300 plus for and against win to get 3 of us in that top 8. So,
and I'll just stay away from last place. The Whisperer's got that now.
Take away from the wooden spoon, Jake. But
maybe you can do some damage for us, Jake.
I can only try.
I'm up against Barnesy, so I reckon I'm a chance.
I'm up against Kane, though. It's going to be a tough one, but I'm hoping I can get it done. And Timmy, who are you versing?
I'm going up against Brando's arch nemesis, Con.
Oh.
360.
Don't you mean Sal's arch nemesis?
Yeah,
Sal's
so
arch nemesis.
I can
that's
tell.
right.
Jake, who are you versing?
I might versus the Mighty Bergs this week.
Yeah, okay, nice. Nice. Good luck, boys.
All right, good luck, guys, and enjoy your Super
Everyone.
Coach.
Some